Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to dive into GitHub Actions and learn how to create a GitHub Action workflow for a .NET project. If you are looking to automate your software development workflows, you are in the right place. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button if you find this video helpful and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials and tech tips. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at our repository for this tutorial. I'll be using my repository called Neobus, which you can find at this address. I'll also put the link into the description, then later on you can find it. GitHub Action is a powerful automation tool integrated directly into GitHub. It allows you to automate your software workflows with simple yet powerful configuration. You can use it for continuous integration, deployment, and other automated tasks. Alright, let's get into the detail. We'll start by creating a basic GitHub Action workflow for our .NET project. To create a new workflow, click on the Action tab. Here, if you go to the repository page, there is a Action tab. I created my own workflow, which is a YAML file here. But you can also create your own workflow, and GitHub will suggest some example and workflows to get you started. So if you click on this button, new workflow, here there are some examples that you can select based on them. Here you can filter, for example, which framework you are using. If you are using .NET, if you are using, for example, other framework. But as I said, in this tutorial, I'm using my own workflow, which I created by my own with some adjustment. So if you open the YAML file here, so there are some code which I'll explain it shortly, and I'll break down what each part of the workflow file means. So this is a basic structure of GitHub Action workflow file for the .NET project. Here is the name of my workflow, which I added, build, and publish, because this workflow is like build and publish. It will build the project and publish it, but uh, you can add your own name based on what the workflow is doing. So the on part, this specifies the events that trigger the workflow. Here the workflow will run on every push and pull request to the main branch. So if I push any change and run one pull request, the workflow will run automatically. So the job parts, workflows are made up of one or more jobs. Jobs run in parallel by default. The next part is run on. This specifies the operating system the job will run it. Here it's set to run on the latest version of Ubuntu. So steps, each job consists of a series of steps. In this example, the first step, check out the repository. The second step, set up the .NET Core SDK. And the third one, restore the dependencies here. And the fourth step, builds the project in release configuration. And the fifth step, run the test. So there are some other steps like pack, publish, and publish to NuGet packages. So after all the tests are successful, then we pack and publish it to the GitHub packages and finally to the NuGet packages. So that's the basic workflow setup for .NET project. So whenever you create a DZML file, let's save this file as a GitHub workflow main.yaml in your repository. Commit the file to your repository. Once the file is committed, GitHub will automatically detect it and start running the workflow. So here, as you see here, uh, my file is already here, and I'll commit it and push to the repository. So as you can see, my workflow runs sometimes. Uh, the status is here. For example, this one ran successfully, this one failed, and yeah, so on. If you open one of them, you can see all the steps that you created in your YAML file. Set up the run, set up .NET, restore dependency, build, and if you open it, you can have some other details here. Test, pack, publish to GitHub packages, push, and yeah, here you can see that this workflow run and all the tests were successful, and now a new version published to GitHub packages and NuGet packages. So that's two different parts. Here that's GitHub packages and NuGet packages is here, nuget.org. And that's it. We have successfully created the first GitHub action for the .NET project. So we have created our YAML file and our workflow, and now it's ready for test. So let's test it together. And before we go through the testing, so here the current version is 1.4.1, and here also it's the same. So in the project, I'll create some changes. Run workflow. Uh, let's add a proper commit here because it's my real repository. I'll commit it and then I'll push it. Once it pushed to the repository, I'll go back to the repository again. In the pull request, I'll create a new one. So it comes from the GitHub action to the main branch. So as you can see here, our workflow trigger automatically. And if we go to the action tab here, there is one log for current run of this workflow. And if you open it, here there are some other details. So all the step runs successfully. And here, if we refresh it again, here you can see that all check have passed. So I pause the recording during the running and let's see the result, because usually it takes some times to publish the package to the .NET and like do the indexing and make it available. So after the pipeline runs successfully, a new version has been published. As you can see here, I added the version number, and also in the GitHub packages. If you click on this one here, you can see the version increased. So that was how we can create a GitHub action, publish it to the NuGet packages, publish it to some other NuGet storages that we have. So if you find this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content on software development and automation. If you have any question or topics you want me to cover, leave a comment below. Happy coding!